Hey guys, this is Jim, and this is Red Eye Racing. I'm making my first video here. I'm trying to get in front of the camera. It's not something that I normally do, but I figured I would make a video and get myself out there. So I don't have the Red Eye. The Red Eye is now getting a cage installed, so I don't have that car, but I do have my brand new dually, so I figured I could do this video on my brand new dually. So we're gonna go outside and we're gonna take a look at it and see if you guys like it. And there she is in all her glory. This is the 2019 Ram 3500 Limited Dually. If you guys can notice, I already changed the wheels, got the windows tinted, did a couple other little things to it. I got this really cool light bar installed, kind of custom. I mean, these wheels are pretty sick though. I also went with the mega cab. Let's give this thing a start. Show you the interior. Man, it's pretty dark in here now that I have the windows all tinted up. This mega cab has a lot of room in it. I want to show you though this cool light that's in here. Let me start this thing. Now, one of the things that I was really surprised that this truck did not come with was ambient light, but I was able to get that changed, and I figured why not do green for my Red Eye to do something a little bit different, but it's totally adjustable. I got this app on my phone here, and let me just get to it, and we'll just change all different colors. So if I want blue, I want purple, I want red, you just click the button and it changes. A really nice thing, because you know, I never had a car without ambient light, and it's kind of a cool thing to have. This navigation screen is just ridiculous. And let me turn on the lights. And there it is with its full glory. And I'm gonna tell you, at night, this light lights up the night. All right, let's go for a ride in this thing. All right, guys, we are now gonna reverse out of my driveway. Close the garage there. Take this beast for a little bit of a stroll. I was watching a video with Kevin Van Voris, and he was thinking about getting another Ram and going with the single rear wheel. But I talked to him, I was like, you know what? I thought about the single rear wheel. It's so much easier to have. You know, some of the benefits are you can go in a car wash. I mean, now that anytime, you know, I live in the Northeast, I live out here in New York and Long Island. Anytime I need to get this thing washed, unfortunately, it's got to be a hand wash, and you know, I pay through the nose for it. because I can't go into the car wash. But you know, I have this huge trailer that I ordered from Intech. I got a 40-foot trailer coming, and this race trailer is going to be off the hook. And the dual rail wheels is really for safety. I mean, that's really what it's for. You know, I like to drive pretty fast, so I don't want to have to worry about making really long trips and having this big trailer on the back. Like I said, it's a safety issue. You know, I'm going to be heading down to go see Kevin in the Flashlight Shootout on February 28th in Texas. And for me, it's like, I don't know, I think it's like 19 or 2,000 miles. I live in East Hampton, so it's going to be at least a day to get down there. I'll probably split it up in 2 days. But you know, I wanted to have the extra security of having that dually, having those two wheels. That really makes a big difference. But this thing is absolutely a head turner. I'm kind of glad I got the dually. I mean, it really is pretty awesome. So let's get back to my red eye. So a couple of things. As you guys know, my red eye is the fastest red eye in the country. We ran a 915 at 149.58, I believe it was. You know, it's pretty fast, but you know, some of the things that were going on with it this year is traction. Traction seems to be my biggest downfall. You know, I can't go up and I can't cut a light. You know, a lot of times in the practices, people are like, oh, why are you leaving so late at the tree? It's because I can't hook. I have to kind of lean into the throttle, and you know, trying to press all these buttons and do all that stuff and get the car ready, getting up to a tree and then having to cut a light and only being able to lean into the throttle. Let me tell you, that's really hard to do. So, you know, I talked to AJ and Jim and I said, listen, I want to solve this problem. I want to be able to go up to the tree and just worry about loading up the converter and, you know, cutting a light. So, begrudgingly, I decided to do the 15-inch conversion on the back of the car, which I definitely didn't want to do. I wanted to take it road racing maybe one day, but it's something that I had to do because we got to get a bigger tire underneath it. The other thing we're working on this off season is we are changing the entire suspension over to the Demon. You know, I'm going with the springs, I'm going with the shocks, I'm going with the spindles. We're changing that all out, putting BMR everywhere we possibly can put back there. We're taking all the bushings out, all the rubber bushings out, putting polyurethane, and this thing is going to friggin' launch the wheels off. With this rear end redone, this thing is going to go down the strip, you know, the strip, no problem. It's going to be great. We hope. The other thing that's going to get done to the car, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but we are putting a cage in this car. You know, it's not only for safety, but it's the rules. I mean, we had a huge problem when we went to ATCO, and they basically told us if you run anything under 10 seconds, we're going to throw you out. And that's the rules. I mean, you know, fortunately, we've been getting away with it. You know, every race I was ever going to, we got away with it. But to be honest with you, as fast as we're going, 150 trapping, you know, God forbid something does happen, and you know, it might not be me. The car next to me could have a problem and crash into me. You know, going down there with just a seatbelt on is not the smartest thing in the world to do. So I was planning on doing a cage anyway. My wife was kind of like, you know, you're doing these really crazy speeds, I don't feel comfortable with that, so can you please, you know, do something to add safety? And she's completely right. So I was planning on doing it anyway, but you know, it's the rules, and I don't want to have to be worried about getting kicked out of a place anymore. The other thing we're doing is we're porting the entire blower. You know, we're doing the entire thing, runners, you name it, it's going to be ported. And that should give us another, I think, 60 to 100 horsepower on top of that. So with all of that said, this car should have no problems getting into the 8s. You know, but I'm not going to spray the car. Spraying the car is, you know, to me, spraying is cheating, you know, because you're only as fast as how much juice you have in your bottle. It's kind of like, I guess, doing steroids, and I'm not about that. I'd much rather spend the money, make it, you know, do it right, and I can do it consistently all the time. And that's really important part. So when I max out this car and I can't make this car any faster, well, that's when I'm going to rip the supercharger off and I'm going to put a Whipple on. And then we're going to go as fast as the Whipple's going to go on this car. And then when that's not good enough, maybe we'll just put a twin turbo on the car and go crazy. I don't know. We'll see what will transpire down the road. But, you know, that's my thought process going into this car.